Name's Andrew Bobro, own Bobro Engineering. We make all kinds of stuff, scope mounts, backup iron sights, flashlight mounts, and we're getting into the handgun stuff. So basically this is kind of an overview of what we have. There's a lot more because there's so many optics, but I'll go through kind of what we're concentrating on. So one of the new things is the thermal market is getting really huge. So we're really starting to do thermal specific mounts that give you eye relief so you can actually use the thermal. Thermals have very limited eye relief, so we're making mounts that you can use the weapon and have the buttstock extended or whatever. So that's a big plus in there. We have our fixed rings, and we have our interlocking ring technology, which we came up with last year, to where the rings self-support and interlock. So once this design was proven with our single rings, we converted all our mounts to interlocking system. So now everything has the LBX system in the mounts. Here's an example here. You have this optic here in a SCAR mount that has the interlocking ring system. So what happens is it takes the load off the fasteners. Very simple concept, but it's a really good way to grab the optic. It also doesn't distort the tube. So if you want to run these rings close to a turret body, you don't get a lot of distortion, because sometimes if a ring design isn't good or it's not made well, you can actually distort the tube to where you'll lose elevation if you're going to the knob. So it'll be like, whoa, this feels rough at this one spot. Is it the scope? No, it could be the mount. So then we have some new stuff here. We have this, we're doing handgun stuff. So this is just a straightforward system to put a Triggrcon RMR onto a 6 Hour 320 M17, and I incorporated a backup iron sight. It's made from 7075, and this is just a very simple product, but if you want to run an RMR, it's a no gunsmithing system, so that's pretty straightforward. Of course, we have our backup iron sights, which are hot sellers. We've been doing these for years. They're super low profile, and they're set and forget type sights, so that you guys are pretty familiar with that. And there they are. So, and they're so low profile, you could actually run your front sight here if you wanted a short sight radius setup, and you could run like a D-ball or something up here if you have a short barreled rifle. That was one of the original designs, was to make it so if you wanted to, you could run the sights close.
We had that a little bit this year.
Super low profile. There's the front. Front flips up the same way. And what makes them really strong is I have a 1/4 inch pivot here off to the side. If we made a central pivot, I'd be very, very skinny, a thin pivot point. So I designed it so that there's a pivot off to the side, so you get all your strength, and it's completely low profile. And if I flip the weapon here, you can see from this side how low profile they truly are. So these are set and forget, true backup iron sights. And this year, this is our latest product, which we're super excited about, that we've solved all kinds of problems. So we have a quick release M-lock system constructed from 7075 that we had last year that had a surefire interface. And we're like, okay, we got to make one that's angled this way, we got to make one angled this way, this one has to clear them all. And literally like a week and a half ago, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Why don't I just make a pivoting system and then we can get everything squared away? So basically, this is brand new. We use 2 counter-rotating fasteners. What happens is when you take this one clockwise and this one clockwise, they oppose each other. It's super straightforward. So you can't move this plate once you tighten it down, because if you want to go this way, it'll want to tighten this fastener. You want to go this way, it wants to tighten that fastener. It's super simple. So here's an example. We have a quick release version here, constructed from 7075, to where you can just take it on and off the rail. You guys saw this last year, where you just unscrew it. Has an expanding wedge system you can take on and off. And we also have come up with just a fixed system, basically a set and forget for a very reasonable price point, if you don't care that it comes on and off. So you just put it anywhere you want on the weapon. And here's another example of it kind of in action here. Let's put this on this weapon here. So you can see it, it's not locked down, but you can see how you can pivot the light. I've engineered it so it goes all the way out here, all the way in here. So if you have a front sight you don't want to impede. And another thing that was a plus too, when we put suppressor on the weapon, if the light was like this, we were getting splash off the side of the suppressor. So we just loosen it up, we run this thing out here, and we can get the light so you don't have the splash on the side of the suppressor. So it's a very simple product. It's super strong, but it gives you the option to get your light either super close to anything or you can move it. And other than that, I probably forgot a bunch of stuff because I've been doing this for a while, but this is kind of an idea of all the stuff we make. So here is night vision mounts, and the problem with most night vision mounts and thermals is because there's no eye relief. The mount just is on the bottom of the sight unit. You have to collapse the stock. So what we've done is we've actually shot everything. We've got the night vision and the thermals, and we shoot them. We determined that you need this eye relief. This lets it come back on the weapon so you can actually use these things and shoot the weapon normally without having your head too far forward. So this right here is for the Pulsar line of mounts, which are very popular, with totally adjustable eye relief using dual levers. This here, we have it for the Triggrcon system, for the IR Hunter and the Reap IRs. We have all that. Same kind of concept. We have a VCOG mount that can also be used for that with the adjustability with the track. We have our compact dual lever for bolt action rifles, which is starting to gain in popularity. Now I made a mount that's very low that goes on a bolt gun, and then I cleared it here so that if you want to top load, like on your hunting rifle, whatever, you can get your hands in here and top load on the bolt gun. So it's important that this cutout is here. What else do we have here? Compact lever is now on the Triggrcon MRO. This is a good setup. We like the MRO. So we're using a compact now with it. We have our LBX 7075 precision bolt gun rings. We're making these in different sizes. This is relatively new, maybe a year old. And we have our flashlight mounts, which we're really happy about and we're in production right now with.